Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Match Heroes. My name is Erin, aka Grishno, and this is Heroes of the Storm. Welcome to Towers of Doom. In today's match, on the red team, we do have Lili, Tassadar, Lunara, Nova, and Chen going up the blue team's Sergeant Hammer, Lieutenant Morales, Nova, Tyrael, and Raynor. But for now, it does look like the match is underway and our teams are heading out into the middle of the map, so we will see how this goes. Does look like in the top lane, we do have a Nova versus a Chen. Chen should easily be able to out-sustain any damage that Nova is able to do. You can see that her full snipe coming in really wasn't able to do much. However, Raynor coming in, pushing Chen back. Chen jumping in. Tassadar coming in should be able to offer a shield, and that should help Chen out significantly. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it does look like we have Lili going on her own up against a Tyrael. Lili getting very low on health. Will she be able to get away? It does look like, but barely. She should be able to figure that out very quickly. In the bottom lane, we do have Lunara and a blue team Nova coming in and getting a little bit of damage out on this lane. Does look like Sergeant Hammer's down here, but is playing it a little bit of safe. It does look like Nova's coming out. Will they be able to get Sergeant Hammer? And they do with the snipe and with some auto attacks from Lunara. Very good job on the blue team. Meanwhile, Lili playing it very safe, staying underneath the towers, just soaking up some XP. But in the top lane, we do have Tassadar and Chen both pushing the blue lane all the way into the red team's forts, and does look like that is going to cause a little bit of damage on those towers there. We do have the red team Nova coming out, Chen jumping down and just drinking out of his jug, saying, I don't give a fuck if I have Raynor and Nova both sitting here poking at me. That's not going to do anything. Are you kidding me? I'm not positive why Tassadar is casting his attack ability on friendly units. I'm not sure if he understands exactly how that works. Maybe I don't understand how that works, but I mean, it seems to me like that should be going out. Seems like he did do it there against the enemy teams, but again, this is going to be quick match, and so we aren't going to see the most optimal play ever. We're not going to see the best meta or anything like that, but we are going to see a good variety of characters, and we are going to have a fun time. Speaking of fun times, it does look like we have a tribute shrine that is spawning down here in the bottom. Teams will need to get this, and this is actually how you do damage to the enemy's core. Sergeant Hammer taking position in the bushes. Excellent positioning here. Lieutenant Morales and Sergeant Hammer can be a very hard comp to go up against because Sergeant Hammer can just sit there and take tons of damage. Chen coming in directly on Sergeant Hammer and trying to push him out, but Sergeant Hammer again just sitting there being totally healed by Lieutenant Morales, who's taking a ton of damage. Might go down. Looks like Lieutenant Morales does go down, but Chen also goes down as well as Tassadar and Lunara. Sorry, Chen is still up, but not anymore. Now he's down, and Nova is running away. Will she be able to get anywhere? Lili coming in, trying to save Noah, getting a blind out, and it does look like she is able to save the team, but it does look like the red team should take this, and as you see, that is going to be 4 points coming in, hitting the core right there. 1, 2, 3, and there's 4. And that should get, and as you can see at the top, that leaves 36 points left on the blue team's core. So that is sort of how this map works. It's very interesting. It's very different from a lot of the other maps. There's different things as well, such as how the camps work, and maybe we'll see a little bit about how that works as well today. However, in the bottom, we do have Lili trying to blind Sergeant Hammer. Lunara coming in, trying to get some damage. Lunara just barely skipping away, just a teeny bit, just barely missing her thing. Maybe it's not up for her yet, but we'll see. It does look like we also have Lili and Nova in the bottom, but Sergeant Hammer just dominating this lane, especially with Lieutenant Morales just sitting in the back playing it super safe, not getting a ton of damage out, but you know, can use her grenade to push people away. This is going to be a ton of damage on Lunara, trying to trade in against this, trying to go against the Sergeant Hammer, but Sergeant Hammer again, with the Lieutenant Morales backing her up, is just going to be almost impossible to kill directly. You really have to go for the healer, and in a situation like this where Sergeant Hammer can zone out, that is just very difficult. Meanwhile, up the top lane, we do have Chen coming in, may be able to get Nova. Does look like Nova is going down to Tassadar's lightning whatever on the floor. Serious damage going out against the towers, and they're both out of ammo, which is really going to mean some trouble here for the red team up top. Raynor trying to get some pushing back, doing little pokes, but this shield, as well as Chen's ability to just sit there and give 2 fucks about anything, is not going to really help the situation for the red team. Tyrael is coming in, trying to get some help, and looks like we do have a shrine spawning in the bottom, which means that the red team and the blue team are both going to be heading down there very quickly. Lili already down here, ready to help out with the team. Sergeant Hammer and Nova and Lieutenant Morales are all here. We have lots of army names, whether it's the Sergeant Hammer or Lieutenant Morales, lots of titles here. Looks like Lili poking in, seeing if she's able to see anything. Nova coming in, getting a huge strike with Rainer just destroying Lili, and Nova is just gonna walk away. Doesn't look like the rest of the blue team was here. We do have Chen coming in, but I think he's not gonna be able to get the interrupt on that, so it looks like that is too late. Doesn't seem like they should be team fighting at this point. There's no use in team fighting down here, but Tassadar is going in very deep, trying to get some damage. Chen also going in incredibly deep, all the way into the enemy lines, and just sitting here saying, I don't give a fuck, I'm just gonna drink some beer. Trying to get some damage, but is going to go down. That is a 1v3 situation. Meanwhile, Tyrael a little bit out of position, but Rainer coming in to get some good backup. Lunara getting a ton of her damage over time abilities out there. That should definitely help, and that is certainly pushing back Rainer, who is just going to survive because of his second wind ability and because of the healing of Lieutenant Morales as well. Does look like I'm not sure, but it looks like the blue team is talking some shit. Very common when teams start to lose a fight, so that is sort of a problem, but, you know, hopefully it won't be too bad this game. Does look like the blue team is trying to come in. There are 4 members of the team down in the bottom lane trying to push these towers down. Sergeant Hammer and Rainer are coming in. Sergeant Hammer setting up just on the other side of the fence, just like you should if you're playing Sergeant Hammer. Meanwhile, Rainer coming out, seeing if he can get any pokes. Tassadar tossing down his lightning on the ground, and Lieutenant Morales coming out just healing up. There is no way that the blue team can do anything about this Sergeant Hammer in the back, and Tassadar is taking tons of damage, using his phasing ability to get away, and looks like he should be fine back there. And we're just going to disengage because it does look like we have 2 towers or 2 altars that are going to be spawning, one for each of the teams. Tyrael in position to get the red teams. No one in position to get the blue team, and it does look like Chen is sort of up top, drinking beer again. He's just, I mean, he comes from a brewery, so you gotta understand. It does look like he's coming in. Tyrael's gonna try and get this right away. Rainer maybe going down to Lunara. Will that help? Looks like Tyrael should be able to get this. Chen missing the opportunity to interrupt, going instead for a kill against the red team's Nova. Does look like the red team was able to get that. Probably, not sure if that was a mistake going for the Nova over the Tyrael. They did get the kill. Does look like Lieutenant Morales does go down, and that is going to be 3 members of the red team down. Because blue team actually has hit level 10. They do have their ultimate ability, so you do see like an Archon coming out for Tassadar. You'll see some other ultimate abilities as well. Lunara is coming out there as well, getting a mass poison out. But that was a 3-for-1 trade. Blue team, meanwhile, just barely hitting level 10. And red team, meanwhile, I'm not sure how Chen got over on that side of the fence, but he's over there. Gonna take some damage from triple tap. But not enough. Again, just probably the worst talent in the game. I know a lot of people shit on that talent, and I am going to be one of them. Tassadar, meanwhile, getting a shield and just trying to run away, trying to hide in the bushes, trying to be sneaky, but Nova's actually going to see that. Not sure if Tassadar, Tassadar is absolutely going to see that, and is going to toss out some lightning there, but Lieutenant Morales is going to be able to save her very easily. Meanwhile, up in the top, we do have Chen, as well as a Lili, 2 pandas sort of hanging out, being panda buddies. Gotta love that. Tyrael coming in, trying to get a little bit of damage, trying to push them back, but Chen coming in, being a bully. Lili is able to get out her blind and is able to toss out her dragon, which should help a little bit with the damage. Between the 2 of them, they should be able to outlast Tyrael any day, but, Tyrael does have, especially at level 10, some very deadly abilities that can do a lot of damage. But you can see that Chen and Lili are getting a lot of damage here on Tyrael, who's just going to pop on the other side of the fence, and is just going to hard back to the beginning. Tassadar calling for the pandas to come. because it does look like we do have 2 altars out. Again, we're looking at 28 points left on the blue team score versus 36 on the red, so red team clear advantage here. Does look like Lunara has been spotted by the Nova. Coming in on the bottom, we have a huge team fight. Triple taps coming out against Lieutenant Morales, but it is blocked. Again, that is the worst talent in the game. Lili using her jug of 10,000 fuck yous, but we do have Rainer and Tira both coming in very hard on the healer. Trying to keep up, though, with the Tassadar and with Chen, both using their ultimate abilities. Lili, I think, doing the right thing, running in as opposed to running out and just going a little bit deeper. Will they be able to make anything happen? Does look like the blue team's Lunara went down, but we did also see the red team's Nova drop. Will Tyrael be able to withstand the 3v1 fight? Does look like he will get away, jumping to his sword, and that is Lili going down. Meanwhile, Chen running away, but Tassadar in serious trouble. And it does look like the red team is able to push them back. Chen a little bit out of position, should be able to take lots of damage, but it does look like we still have an altar up. We still have 2 altars up. Bottom lane was captured by Sergeant Hammer, and top lane here, Chen is trying to do his best to hold this down, but it is a 2v1 situation. We do have Nova coming in, getting Rainer, taking him down. Now we have the rest of the red team coming in from the bottom. Will they be able to do anything here? Lunara coming in, but Nova is sitting right behind her. Should be able to get some serious damage on her. Coming out with triple tap. Tassadar trying to get in the way. Again, just the worst ultimate. Just awful. Blue team really wants to get this. They are behind by a fair amount, but Lunara is going to go down. Sergeant Hammer just sitting here, just wailing on everybody, just wailing. And Lili coming, trying to use her jug of 1,000 fuck yous. Chen running away a little bit, but is back to full health. Meanwhile, because Chen ran away, that meant that that was not on Tassadar, and Tassadar does go down with very low health. Probably should have hurt instead of going back in, especially with the Sergeant Hammer sitting right there. But it does look like Chen's going right into the thick of things. Lili is not able to do this because of the Sergeant Hammer's circle. Rainer coming in and getting a ton of damage. Looks like Chen using his ultimate ability. Will that be able to do anything? Splitting into 3 pandas, trying to get some damage, but the red team just sitting at full health, recombining, and Chen is gonna go down. That is just dominating of the blue team by the red team, and it does look like a ton of points. I mean, it's incredibly one-sided at this point. If you look, 20 points left on the blue team score. That is half. So their core is halfway dead. Meanwhile, the blue team has only been able to get 1 hit on the red team, putting their core at 36. So clear advantage right now for the red team, just dominating the team fights. But when you look at the kills, both have 14 and both have 3 forts. So siege damage and kills, it is a fairly even game. Even the levels are incredibly even, but it's, you know, in this map, it's not about the levels, and it's not always about the forts. It really is about capturing those altars and holding those down. Meanwhile, Chen in the middle, going in incredibly deep. Lili coming in with her jug of fuck yous, trying to help out Chen, but Chen is running away. Lili taking ton of damage, being stemmed by Lieutenant Morales. Triple tap coming out on Lieutenant Morales, who is going to go down. I guess it's a good ultimate. It did finally get a kill. Looks like Chen's also going to go down. But again, this is just a huge, like almost the entire blue team, everyone except Nova, went down at that, and all they lost was Lieutenant Morales. It looks like Nova was able to get a Sergeant Hammer, but Nova in serious trouble now, is going to go down. That is a team wipe for the blue team. That is a 5-for-2 trade and just not going well. Also, at the same time, we have altars just about to spawn. We have 25 seconds. That should be hopefully enough time for the blue team to spawn and to be able to contest this, but we are talking some serious shit here in chat, which is always great. Always love that, and we'll see how this is able to go. Right now, it does look like the red team really wants to take this. There are 2 shrines up, and if they can take that, that's going to drop the blue team down to, 12 points left? That's not very much. Tassadar is coming in. Few members of the blue team have spawned. Chen going in deep, trying to get some damage on Rainer. Looks like getting some poisons out. Very good, but Hyperion coming down. Everyone walking out of it. Triple tap coming out. Not able to get anything against Chen, but Chen does go down. Lieutenant Morales also going down, so that is a healer for a tank trade. Jug of 1,000 fuck yous coming in and healing up the team. Red team has very low Rainer and Nova. Nova might go down in the back. Doesn't look like. Lunara for the blue team is going to go down. Absolute chaos here. Very low. Oh my gosh. Huge bullet right there coming out from Sergeant Hammer is able to take out 2 members of the blue team, and it does look like red team was able to capture their shrine over here on the right, and was able to take the blue team shrine as well, dropping them down to, like I predicted, 12 points. Math for the win. Everyone should know math. Looks like they're also going to go for the boss. It should be another 4 points, which is going to drop the blue team down to 8. Meanwhile, also the red team has reached their level 16 talents, giving them a clear advantage. Now at level 17, blue team about to hit level 16, so at least they are on the same talent here, but a level behind, and just 8 points left to 36. This is looking like an incredibly one-sided match, at least as far as points on the core go. Blue team is back, and it looks like they are using the portal to spawn to the center. Will they be able to make anything happen? It looks like the Chen is going to come in, try and get a little bit of damage here on the middle lane. Also, looks like we will have a chance to talk about some of these camps in the bottom. So the blue team is going for this camp. These camps work slightly differently than some of the camps on the other maps. Basically, the big thing that they do, for example, like if you get a bruiser camp on another map, it will push down the lane, and then when it gets to the enemy structure, it will just sit there and sort of push against it. However, these, what they do is as soon as they reach the enemy structure, they run into it and suicide against it, getting a ton of damage. And so we'll see if we can see that today, but it looks like they are able to take out this wave pretty quickly. Meanwhile, red team up at the top, taking out an entire fort. Nova coming in and just getting destroyed, trying to use the best ultimate in the game, triple tap. Gotta love it. Meanwhile, at the bottom, it does look like we had those, here they come, they're gonna suicide. You can see just getting a ton of damage like they do, and that is actually able to take out the fort. So you can see how they work. It's very different. It's sort of guaranteed damage as long as you can escort them into the tower. So it is a 1 tower for 1 tower trade, and we do have a altar spawning in the middle. Blue team sort of out of position here. Lili trying to run away through the back. Chen, meanwhile, flanking from the middle. Lili is very low, getting the shield from Tassadar. Will she be able to make anything happen? Does look like triple tap is coming out on Lili, but being blocked by the friendly team. JUG of 1000 fuck yous coming out here in the bottom, is able to heal up the healers, but Hyperion is really zoning him out. Rainer's going to try and capture this here. Sergeant Hammer is sieging up, trying to see what they can do about preventing it from preventing the blue team from coming in and just zoning everyone out. Lunara getting some damage here on man, the blue team is just split everywhere. This is really hard to cast. Looks like Tyrael is jumping in really deep, but is fully poisoned. Will the red team's just ignoring the shrine at the same point. Isn't able to do anything. Looks like Rainer is trying to come down. Nobody's died yet. Does look like red team's Tyrael is going to go down though. Bullet coming out from Sergeant Hammer, who is just going to sit here and hammer on Tassadar. Tassadar doesn't realize that he's being hammered. There he goes, but Nova and Lili going out against the Rainer aren't going to be able to take that. Looks like Lili trying to take out this altar. We do have 4 members of the blue team down, or the red team down. That is a great job for the for the blue team. Finally able to actually capture some altars, which is fantastic. But it does look like during that same interaction, the red team was able to take over one of the forts here in the middle. So one of the other mechanics that happens on this map is if you, say the red team, takes over all of the forts, what's going to happen is the enemy team's core is going to take 1 point of damage per every 3 seconds. So it's not often that I see it. It does look like blue team was able to take back this tower. So it's not often that you see those sorts of matches, but I have definitely seen it in matches that are just completely dominated by one team. You do see all the towers taken and a lot of damage coming in on the core. That is usually something that you see happen in the late game, but again, this is something that we could see happen here in this match today. On the bottom, it does look like red team is responding, taking out this tower down in the bottom, but blue team doing the same thing, taking a 1-for-1 up at the top, and it does look like matches are back to being fairly even. Blue team is pinging that they want to take this camp here at the top. Red team, what are they going to do? They have successfully recaptured this fort, so we do have 3 forts for 3 forts, 24 kills to 21 kills. So again, fairly even game when you think about it. But again, when you look at the core damage, just very one-sided. Looks like red team is going to go PvE. They are going to try and take out this siege camp here on the bottom. That should help them. And it does look like we have 3 altars spawning, so this is going to be a huge opportunity for the red team if they're able to get any damage. Looks like they are going to send Tyrael down to the bottom. That should guarantee that. Meanwhile, blue team hiding up top, trying to be sneaky, see what they can do. Chen being right out front, though. Nova coming out, being revealed. Triple tap now coming out against Nova. Nova v Nova situation. Looks like Nova, you might go down to the Nova. We do have Hyperion coming out, but Raynor does go down. Jug of 1,000 fuck yous is there, and looks like Tassar with the Archon should be able to get that. Meanwhile, it does look like somebody over here was able to get the blue team. The blue team's altered, so it was 2 altars for the blue team, 1 for the red, leaving the blue team with only 4. That is 4 points left on their core. A single altar or the boss will win the red team the game. Meanwhile, blue team is trying to get a comeback, and they have managed to get a few I guess, points taken off of the red team's core, which is down to 25 now at this point. Does look like they're pushing in. I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. Chen may be coming in, doing a backdoor approach to try and help out and push this bottom temple, see if they are, not temple, sorry, fort. Looks like they are able to get a little bit of damage here. Meanwhile, we do have 3 members of the blue team coming in mid against 2 members of the red team. A few members of the red team are down, so at this point it does look like kill-wise, still very even, but some of the recent battles, it looks like the red team has really been suffering casualties. Tyrael coming in really hard against Tassadar, getting tons of damage, and Tassadar is just going to run away, is going to use his Oracle ability to see around, make sure Nova's not around, and make sure that they are safe to her. Looks like they are fine. Nova and Lunara now running away. Nova, for the red team, sorry, Nova v Nova matches, you got to be specific about who you're talking about, but red team Nova is right here, is able to see things. Looks like tons of damage coming out against Lili. There is a altar that is about to come down here. Lili taking tons of damage. Will she be able to do anything? Triple tap coming out against Tyrael. Did get a kill, so it is the best ultimate in the game. Looks like Chen jumping in super deep, getting a ton of damage on Raynor with his ultimate ability. Jumping in now on Lieutenant Morales and Nova are taking a ton of damage. Archon doing huge amounts of damage, but Hyperion is out, going sort of the wrong way, which is interesting. Chen going really deep, triple tap coming out really far against red team's Nova, is just gonna hit that that little thing right there and do no damage because it's an awful ultimate and nobody should ever take it. Seriously though, does look like we have 4, because there are 4 temples up, that is going to be 4 pieces, 4 points of damage going out against the red team's core, and that does put them down to 20. And that is only leaving the Nova up. Blue team is going for boss. Don't know what red team's Nova is doing. She doesn't either. She's just sort of hanging out, doing her thing. But blue team is going to get this boss completely uncontested. Nova's not even going to do anything. She's just sort of sitting AFK. Again, this is quick match, so that's the sort of thing that you can expect because this is quick match, and I hope that it's fun. Does look like Lili really wants to get this top fort. That would give them complete dominance of the map, but instead it looks like they're going to go for the siege camp here. Her and Tassadar are 2 healers, seeing what they can do against this siege camp. Meanwhile, Chen and Nova clearing lanes. Red team pinging that they want to clean out the bottom, so it does look like they should be able to clear that out completely uncontested based on positioning of the blue team. Lili running in, Tassadar following, and Chen finally coming there. Looks like they should be able to take out this fort pretty easily. That is going to not get any of the sort of 1 point of damage over time because the red team was able to take out the bottom fort and capture that for themselves. Does look like blue team is coming into the middle. Red team is also coming into the middle, so we might see some fights here. Looks like red team is trying to capture this base here. Looks like they should be able to take out that siege camp very easily. Sergeant Hammer now wheeling around in position, but Nova being caught out is taking tons of damage and is going to go down. Jug of 1,000 fuck yous is up, keeping everyone alive. Tassadar using his Archon, getting tons of damage there against Sergeant Hammer, who's just sitting in it. Now Raynor taking tons of damage. Lunara jumping in, getting tons of poisons. Triple tap coming out. Will it be able to do anything? It doesn't look like, because it's awful. If that was precision strike, who knows what they could do. Blue team now running up against the death zone. If they cross this line, they will take damage. There is no way that they can change it. And that is almost a complete domination of the red team by the blue team at this point, that we do have 3 towers spawning. 1 in the bottom, which looks like Lunara and Nova are both here. And if red team is able to get this Tyrael trying to get this. This would win the game, but Tassadar coming in and blocking him. Lieutenant Morales coming in, trying to get it as well. Will they be able to push him back? Lili and Tassadar is trying to get some damage. Tassadar getting in the interrupt. That's huge. JUG 1000 fuck yous coming out, healing them both through this brutal assault by Tyrael that is happening. But now Chen is able to take a little bit of damage, is able to force them out. Looks like they should be able to do this. Tons of damage coming out and tons of poison on Tyrael. And it does look like Chen is going into the death zone.
The others.
Good game. Good game. Oh my god. Yes.
Well done, heroes.
Fuck, man, we came back from 4v like shit. Holy smokes. Can't even believe that comeback by the blue team. Red team was up by so much and they just weren't able to capitalize. This map, a lot of people think it's really snowball-y. They think that there's no way to come back from being really far behind because you're always so close to being just completely destroyed and getting good game against you. But you really can come back from very far behind if you focus on getting the altars, if you focus on a strategy, if you focus on pushing those lanes and staying in a group. You can really make it happen, and we saw that today with an incredible comeback by the blue team. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this match. I know I sure enjoyed casting it for you. If you did, please hit the like button. It helps out a great deal. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and until next time, I'm Grishno, and I'll see you later.